Hey everybody, no nonsense financial chicken coming at you. Say hello. She's kind of camera shy. Yeah, welcome back to another video. Sorry this one's getting out so late, Sunday night. Just kind of had a thought today. I was sitting around and thinking about all this and what I want to talk about next, and maybe I'll put you down. Say goodbye. It's one of our chickens. We have too many of them. Say bye. Okay. I kind of want to talk about risk management, but not in the sense that you might think. Some people hear risk management and they kind of think, just don't over leverage yourself. And you've probably heard me say that a couple times. Leverage is basically just like being in debt. How much debt can I accrue? Over leveraging would mean taking out so much debt that you're paying minimum payments on everything and kind of falling more behind than you are catching up. That's being over leveraged. But more for now, in to the tune of like, what are you giving up? What are you risking not being able to do because of the choices that you've made? And maybe it's getting too much debt. Maybe it's financing all your vehicles, financing a house and refinancing a house and refinancing a house. And I'm not really going to talk about numbers too much today. At some point, I'd like to kind of run through that scenario of like what, maybe use the idea of all the interest that you pay over the course of a lifetime. A normal person that finances, 6 or 7 vehicles throughout their life, and student loans and carrying balances and paying interest to credit card companies and financing a house on a 30-year or longer. Gosh, that'd be terrible. Mortgage and not paying it off early at all. And taking all that, the interest payments, and seeing what it could have looked like in a retirement account. I might actually work on that math tonight so that I have it. But just this idea of what are you giving up? And some of that is numbers. Some of it is about peace and being able to sleep at night and having more joy in what you do. I've been there paying off debt, and most of the debt that we ended up with was medical debt. Some of it was bad financial decision debt, but it's no fun when you get up and go to work because you have to, because there's a payment coming due and you got to pay it. It's a lot more fun when you can get up and go to work, and when your paycheck comes, you can do something fun with it. You can do something meaningful with it. There's this author and speaker that I like listening to, and he says, pursue what is meaningful. And I think what debt a lot of times in our lives does is doesn't allow us to pursue things that are meaningful. It allows us to pursue paying off debt. So when I talk about risk management and, what are you missing out on? It's not really a numbers game. It's more about what is it that the debt you have in your life is preventing you from doing. And, debt's never brought me anything meaningful in my life. I never look back. I haven't looked back on any of it and said, man, I'm really glad I was in debt. Now, I understand, buying a house, realistically, most people need to finance that. And in most cases, it's a good decision. I think there's right ways to do it and wrong ways to do it. There's wise ways to do it and unwise ways to do it. Trying to get away from being all dogmatic about right and wrong, and just really looking at everything as, what am I missing out on? But I don't think on the whole most people look at debt and say, yeah, I'm really glad I was in debt. Now, maybe being in debt got you an education, that got you into a job you really wanted, and that's good, but there are ways to get into that job you really want without debt, and there are ways to buy a house without debt. And I think it would be a good thing to society as a whole if we stopped normalizing massive amounts of debt. And I think we've just gotten so used to it that we don't understand what we're missing out on. There's a huge amount of peace that comes with being out of debt. Having been in debt and gotten out, there's a huge amount of peace and relaxation and loss of anxiety that comes with that. And that's something that you miss out on when you're in debt. like I said, a little bit of its numbers, you know. You run the numbers on interest paid on vehicles financed over the course of somebody's life, and I mean, you're talking 20, 30, 40, $100,000 in interest paid. And all it takes to not do that is for one vehicle purchase, say, I'm not going to finance it, I'm going to save cash. Because then you've got the cash, you've got the value of the vehicle, and then you just pay yourself a car payment instead of the bank a car payment. I'm going to make a video on that as well. But it just takes a little bit of intentionality. And guys, this is just I'm 2 weeks into doing this. This is just a reminder that to win with money, you got to be intentional with it. It doesn't happen on accident. In church ministry, I have this saying that I share with people is, you don't drift towards holiness. It takes an effort, and you're not going to drift or coast towards financial freedom and financial success. It takes effort and it takes intentionality. And the thing is most people have it within themselves to be intentional. They just don't know where to start. And I'm hoping that that's what these videos do, is they help get you started thinking about it. And that's kind of half the battle, is just thinking through what you do with your money and not letting your emotions guide every dollar that you spend. Again, go back to give your dollars missions, right? You can make it rain all you want, but those dollars are just going to go out into the wind and into the air and into the unknown. Little pitchy, but we'll get there. You got to give your dollars missions, so that you're not missing out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I'm hoping maybe this coming week having some real numbers-based videos about budgeting and investing. And I have a whole series on investing that I want to do, of tutorials of what brokerage companies are and how to do all that. So look for all that stuff coming up. Comment down below, guys. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everyone's support so far. Excited to see where this goes. We'll see you in the next one.